the Washington Redskins Commanders football team extravaganza have had 9 helmet redesigns since they started, and 3 name changes and counting, Steve.
And you have to watch this video to learn about how the Redskins might be coming back.
So Steve, I don't know where to begin with this. Let's do it in chronological order a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, so with these videos, we're going over every single NFL team. So if you're interested in your team, we've got a playlist below where you can go check out the others. But we're starting in the Super Bowl era. Some teams had some stuff going on before that, including the Redskins. So from 1965 to 1969, it was basically a burgundy helmet, gray face mask, and a spear with a feather on it, similar to Florida State.
Very similar to Florida State, and I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah, pretty basic.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Steve. We all know how I feel about gray face masks. So in 1970 through 1971, they went to a green bay gold, and they had a R in a circle with a couple of feathers coming off the back of the circle.
Yes, I don't want to just be negative the whole time, so I'm going to gloss over this, but man, I don't love this look at all.
You know, maybe in the early 70s, that was cool. In that design, the red or the burgundy looks a little bit more red, so it kind of makes me, I don't know, I think about like McDonald's.
McDonald's French fries container, exactly.
Yeah. 1972 comes along, and that is when you get the Indian head in the round, again, the round circle, which I'm not sure if there's any other types. Circles. You get the Indian head in the circle. They kept the feathers. We're back to a burgundy helmet. We're back to a gray face mask, and then you've got a couple of stripes down the side. Tell us about the Indian head, Steve.
I mean, it's fascinating, and I get more in depth in that other video that we did, but this Indian head was actually drawn by the commissioner or a chief of an Indian tribe, right? And it is representing the pride of their people and the Redskins. So I know that there's a lot of Native Americans that are pretty upset that this logo is in fact gone, and I actually believe we might see it again. That's my thing.
So certainly not forgotten.
Not forgotten.
Yeah. So in 1978, they ditched those gray face masks and they went with the green bay gold that matches the rest of the yellow in their designs. To me, that is the most classic look for the Redskins.
Absolutely, and what a great era it was.
Basically, they wore that same design from 78 through 2019 with a couple little tweaks in the middle. In 1982, the feathers, which hung off the back of the circle on the side of the helmets, they changed the design of the feathers and they kind of look like bananas. Not only did it only last a year, but apparently from the great research that Dylan has been doing on this for us, it wasn't even worn by all the players.
Yeah, even they weren't all connecting.
And we couldn't find the reason for any of that. I'd love to interview one of those guys that was playing in 1982 to find out, say, hey, what was the deal in the locker room? Why did some guys not want to wear the new banana feathers? In 2013, for a game, they took the stripes off. That's exciting, right?
It's something.
Yeah. And then in 1994, they did their 94 special, which that was the year that all the teams did some kind of a throwback. And for that one, they basically just took all the decals off the helmet. So it was that burgundy helmet with the yellow face mask.
Yeah, it made sense for why they did it. You know, super boring, but it's cool.
In 2002, Steve, they brought back the spear for home games.
Interesting, because that was a whole lot of work for the equipment managers.
And then a helmet that I kind of like was the leather look helmet. So in 2012, for a game, they wore a hydrographic dipped helmet to look like brown leather.
To this day, I think that's one of the coolest designs that we've seen on the field.
Yeah, black face mask, which I think works.
Sure.
And the other team, Green Bay Packers, that tried something similar, and I think when we talked about it in that video was a big failure, was they just wore a brown molded helmet, and it just kind of looked like it, where this actually was a cool look, I think. So let's talk about, Steve, let's call it the woke era in 2020, when they changed the name of the team. I remember at the time, would they have like 3 months, 4 months?
It was quick.
It was very minimal amount of time. and they had to come up with something, and there was a lot of back and forth, and everybody was trying to guess, and they just went with about the most basic thing that you can imagine: Washington football team.
I feel so badly for the people that are on the marketing and the PR departments of these teams, Washington in particular. What a tough time that was.
So that name lasted a whole 2 seasons. So in 2020 and 2021, they wore burgundy helmet with the Green Bay gold face mask and then matching Green Bay gold numbers on the side of the helmet. And then for a game, they took the decals off, so they had a solid burgundy helmet, and they went and they put that dark gray face mask on there, which, because it's dark gray, I didn't mind it. So that was probably, again, to harken back to some kind of a throwback. 2022, starting fresh again. Not only do they come up with the design that you have right here, which I love the paint job on this. I think they're crazy to go with a paint job like this, because not only is the helmet painted this, I would call this like a matte satin burgundy, but the face mask is also painted to match. And paint doesn't hold up very well on face masks because it's, they're getting hit a lot, and it's metal underneath.
They probably couldn't have chosen something more expensive and harder to upkeep.
Yeah,
right?
and it's tough matching these colors on this from year to year to year.
It
So
is.
we do a little work with the Commanders, and I think we've got our formulas down pretty good. But I know it's a thing.
It is a
Let's just
thing
say
for
that.
sure.
So in 2022, they also brought in their alternate helmet, which is all black with a black face mask, and brings in their colors of both burgundy and Green Bay gold as secondary colors.
I mean, it's cool, it's tough, it's mean. They swap out the warning labels even to make them yellow. They put the Washington 3D bumpers on the back and Commanders in the front. It's cool, but when they wear that uniform, they're unrecognizable. Where when the other teams like the Eagles or, name their team that goes to an all black, at least they still are who they are. This team doesn't need any more help being unrecognizable.
Fascinating way to look at it. I can't disagree. I do like the helmet design, though. I mean,
Same here.
Black and yellow, especially that bright yellow, go really well together. And I think the way that they did it with the subtle burgundy outlines and the numbers and so forth work really well. Having the Washington, D.C. flag. I did not pay attention in 8th grade U.S. history class because I don't know what that is now.
Well, it took me a second to remember that Virginia was even part of that, so you're not in bad company. But I'll tell you, this look with the all black, with that alternate helmet, this is where, the Washington Hornets or the Yellow Jackets or something makes a lot of sense. I don't know, man. Until they figure out what they're doing, I think they should stay away from alternates. That's my opinion.
So, Steve, which one of these is your favorite helmet? Not only do you have a lot to choose from for one team, but you have a lot of different directions to go in too.
Totally. I mean, for me, it's very easy though, Jay. It's the 78 to 2019, the maroon helmet with the yellow face mask and the Indian on the side with 2 feathers. Classic Redskins. There's no replacement in my opinion.
I'm going to go with the black helmet.
Yeah.
I like the deep black. It kind of has that, undercover Black Ops is what I think.
There you go. Okay.
Maybe we can call that the Black Ops helmet going forward. But we want to know your opinion if you're a Redskins or a Commanders or a Washington football team fan out there. I wonder how many people became fans of the team new when the team was named the Washington football team.
I wonder a lot about
Can't
this.
be many.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few questions I have. How many fans did they lose? How many fans did they pick up?
Yeah,
all
so
that.
if you're a Washington fan,
Yeah.
2 questions. Which is your favorite helmet and which is your favorite team name?